Ah, so welcome student to the next lecture of diversity in the living world, that is living world first chapter. So we have completed from starting to species, genus and introductory part. Now we are focused on family to kingdom. Next part 2 of that, and which will end the living world. So let's start with the family. So again, family. What is family? So family is a group of related genera. Genera is a plural for genus. Again, genus was the group of related species. Same way here, one of the most important point here is both vegetative and reproductive characters are considered. Not only vegetative but also reproductive. Mainly when classification is considered, reproductive characters are important. Okay, because they do not change. They are the most important characters for any classification to be become valuable. Okay, and evolutionary related because reproductive characters are conserved, and in plants the reproductive characters are flower and floral characteristics. So this one is important. But in family, along with that flower, in vegetative means non-reproductive structures. In plant, non-reproductive structures are stem, root, leaves, all others. So these characters are also important in family, and reproductive characters are also important. So when you consider family, pay attention here. When you consider family, or if you want to remember this, so family will consider both vegetative plus reproductive characters. So, or you want to make it very simple, you can remember it as FVR. Okay, so FVR is family contains vegetative and reproductive characters. If you make these points as this smaller mnemonics or tricks, it will be better to remember and it will cost less on your memory, and that is the aim of this learning exercise. Because there is a huge data, this is just the first chapter, so this is huge data, we have to use as less of a memory slots as there. So we have to keep our memory open for further information of 11th syllabus and 12th syllabus. So focus on that. So now pay attention here. We have Solanaceae family. What is mean by Solanaceae family? That Nicotiana sodapi. This is the mnemonic. Nicotiana is a girl and someone is offering him soda. Yes, and P means it's in Hindi, Pina. Okay, so Nicotiana sodapi. So Nicotiana solanum, Dhatura, Petunia, all these genus come under Solanaceae family. Okay, so this is a family example which contains these many genuses. All the examples taken here are important in reference with further syllabus. So this is important for us in botany, plant kingdom, and in morphology. Okay. Next we have Felidae. Again, this is also important. Animal kingdom. Felidae, Panthera. Felidae is the family which contains two genuses, that is Panthera and Felis. Panthera leo, Panthera pardus, Panthera tigris, all we have seen earlier. These are all big cats, that is called as big cat. And Felis, Felis catus, our domestic billy cat, is called as small cat. Next. Next, again, we have gone through this Canidae family. Canidae family contains genus Canis. So, Canidae family, Felidae family, Solanaceae family. Okay. Again, Canis familiaris, Lupus, Aureus, dog, wolf, jackal. So, Canis is dog and here cat. So, Canidae family. So, all these are families. You can see. So, Solanaceae family, Solanaceae family, Felidae, and Canidae. So what we have learned in this slide, very simple, that family, this family is a group of related genera, and family in family, both vegetative and reproductive characters are considered. So remember this. This is extremely important that family considers vegetative plus reproductive characters. Next, moving on to next category. So moving on to next category, we have order. So in that order, if you see, is a group of related families. Is a group of related families. So is a group of related families. So we have one order that is polymonials. Polymonials. So it contains two families. One is Solanaceae, which we have previously seen, and this one is Convolvulaceae. A little bit difficult to pronounce. So whenever the big word comes, you just break it down. Okay, convolvulaceae. So break it down like convolvulaceae. Okay, so and another one is Solanaceae. So polymonials, under polymonials who comes convolvulaceae and Solanaceae. So again, you how do you remember that? Poly, con, sola. Okay, so this is the trick, polyconsola. So the smaller tricks at the end of the chapter, we are going to bring it together, and we are going to more simplify and compress this knowledge so the entire chapter fits on a single paper of sheet. And when you are further revising, you need not to go back and do that again and again and again. You once read it, you again, and along with this, what you need to do is read NCERT chapter of Living World once and while to remember the statements. Further, we are going to take statements also, one by one statements. We are going to scan the entire chapter for important statements that could be used for assertion, reasonable statement based multiple statements. And when we do that, easily we can solve each and every type of MCQ, be it multiple choice or be it any statement based. So polynomial order contains which family? Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae. How will you remember that? Polycon sola. Next, we have carnivora order, and we have two families, that is Felidae and Canidae. Again, simple way to remember Feli, Carnifeli, Cani. And I think here mnemonic are also not required because Felidae, Canidae, everybody remembers these are carnivores and they will come under order Carnivora. Next, Primata. So Primata order is there. In that Primata order, you can see primates will be included and diptera. These are the examples which are coming further in the NCERT. Lastly, we will have 5 organisms and their entire classification. They ask this question from them. Okay, so primata, primate, monkey, humans, diptera. This this order contains flies mostly. We have housefly, which is named as Musca domestica. That will come later. So these are the orders. You remember the orders, and one of the most important thing while considering an order is family. We made one what small mnemonic. FVR, family considers vegetative plus reproductive, but order contains only reproductive. So here we have made what? FVROR. FVROR. Family VR, and for order it is only reproductive characters. For family only both vegetative plus reproductive. For order only reproductive. So this thing, if you remember, I think from these topics, one of very few questions are asked, and they will be based on this, whether family or order. These are the differences, because in family, what is happening here again? Family both vegetative and reproductive are considered. In order, only reproductive are considered. If you remember this, a sure shot MCQ you can solve based on this. Next, again, plant, order plant based on floral characters. Reproductive characters in plants are what? So floral characters. So only this word is important, that is here, only reproductive characters. Okay, so I think we have understood with what order, there is no confusion, and particularly these are the orders, animal orders, primera, diptera, and all that. Okay, so what is above the order is class. What is above the order is class. So again, it's a simple group of related orders will be class. We have two classes, dicot class, monocot class in plants, and many classes in mammalia such as Pisces and all. So for the just examples, see polymonials, roselles, and passiflorals. These are the order which come under dicotyledon class. Polymonials, roselles, passiflorals, these are coming under what? Dicot class. So polymonials, again polymonials under comes who? Poly solar canal. Polyconsola. Polyconsola means poly under who comes, which families comes? Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae. Then the roselles and passiflora. Passiflora is Brahmakamala. Okay. Next we have mammalia. In mammalia we have primata and carnivora order. Primata and carnivora order. Okay, this is as simple as it gets. So it does not have a criteria such as vegetative or reproductive characters are considered and all that. That relates only with family. Family, both reproductive and vegetative characters. Order only reproductive. Order only reproductive. Sorry, FVR OR, FVR OR, FVR OR. Next. Next is division. Again, division is nothing but it is a group of related classes. Gymnosperms have 7 classes, which we do not have them in the syllabus. So don't worry, just remember. Or you can simply remember that angiosperm division has 2 classes, that is dicot and monocot. Previously we have seen classes. One dicot example we have seen, and this is a monocot. So dicotyledony and monocotyledony. So pay attention, division is a group of related classes, pretty straightforward. We have 2 divisions, gymnospermy and angiospermy here, and in that we have dicotyledony and monocotyledony. Next. Next, phylum. So phylum again is a related group of related classes. So division we use for plants, and when we go for animal kingdom we use phylum. So again, so what is the criteria of the phylum to classify? So first we go for presence of notochord, and second one is dorsal hollow neural system. Just we see uh, what is dorsal hollow neural system and what is a notochord. You can see this. This is a notochord, and notochord, do not confuse this with spinal cord. Okay, notochord is more closely related, or when it develops it becomes vertebral column. It will make bone like structure, skeleton like structure. So notochord should not be confused with spinal cord. You, if you want to go with spinal cord, you can go with dorsal hollow nerve cord. So this is what nervous system, it will give rise to nervous system, spinal cord plus brain stem. So dorsal hollow nerve is this yellow one, and if this is present and notochord is present, notochord will be in the future what? It will become vertebral column, or it supports the growth of embryo as a skeleton, skeleton during embryo stage. So pay attention, if this is present it will be classified into chordata, if not non-chordates. Okay, so the phylums are based on presence of or absence of these two. Next, Then we come to the kingdom. Okay. So what is a kingdom? Kingdom is the highest taxonomic category. Kingdom is what? Highest taxonomic category. So Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. Monera, Protista, Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. These are the five highest taxonomic categories known as kingdom. We also have domain which is above the kingdom that we will discuss in biological classification. We have one separate classification system. There are 6 kingdom classification and 3 domain. But that is advanced. We don't use that much. So that we will discuss in biological. MCQ purposes, 100% good answer is which is the highest taxonomic category. So 100% without any doubt is kingdom. Okay. Then Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, and Animalia. So we have this chart at the end, and in that information is given, and this is the most important chart you have to mug up. See, part of this diversity of the living world, it's a mostly wrote, so much of information is there in living world, biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom. So this is a rote unit. You have to mug up as much as. So, but you have to, when you are going for ratification, you have to go with somewhat intelligence. How easily you can memorize this vast information. Okay, because you have to memorize, because some questions will come. Living world alone, 1 or 2 depends on the exam. Questions come, 1 or 2 is 4 marks. Okay, 4 or 8 marks. So importance is there, and this serves as a basic of classification. That is classical botany, zoology, classical biology depends on this first. Then we will go with the anatomy and morphology, and then we will go with the physiology. This is a common pathway for zoology and botany. Okay, so pay attention. These kind of charts, numbers, lines from NCERT are highly important for your preparation. Next, so pay attention here. First, our classification: man, okay, or human being. So biological name, first name, the genus name, and the species name. So we are Homo sapien. Homo is our Homo is our genus. Again, hominidae, which family we are? Hominidae. And under which order we come? Monkeys and us, we have one order, that is primates. We are primates, hominidae. Then we come under class Mammalia. Mammalia, uh, females or mothers of this organism, or mammals, they contain mammary gland and body hair and all those characteristics. And finally, we are having cord, notochord, vertebral column. So we are called as chordata, and dorsal hollow neural system. I am not going with any extra concept other than the provided in first chapter of NCERT. As the new topics and concepts come, we are going to integrate it, so that not to bother someone who is preparing for first time. Next, Musca domestica. What is Musca domestica? Musca domestica is nothing but housefly. So this housefly, again, Musca is our genus name. Family, we can go with the Muscidae, and order is going to be Diptera. So pay attention here. The order is Diptera and the class is Insecta. Mostly the question is asked here and kids are confused. So Diptera, Insecta, and Arthropoda. So pay attention. Order is Diptera, class is Insecta, and phylum is Arthropoda. Okay. Sorry. So what is happening? Order Diptera, class Insecta, and phylum Arthropoda. Remember, many of the questions they frame it like that. They make it like what? Either they make match the pair. In that they will confuse you. Diptera, Insecta, and Arthropoda. So remember, Diptera is the order, Insecta is the class, and Arthropoda is the phylum. Just remember it now. Next, we are going with the mango. Okay, Mangifera indica. Mangifera is a genus. Again comes important here is Anacardiaceae, ACA. In botany, you have a very good what we can call strict rules for nomenclature, not that much in zoology. These are little lax. But why important is the strict rules? Because when I read ACAE, I know it is a family, though I don't know that family. So Anacardiaceae. Then you have ALES, which is the suffix of Sapindales. So in Sapindales, this is what orders, and then you have dicot, Dicotyledone, and angiosperm. So these are again Anacardiaceae, Sapindales, Dicotyledone, and angiosperm. So how will you remember this classification for mango? Mangifera indica everybody knows. So Mangifera is the genus, and okay. So how do you remember the mango Mangifera indica? The family you have to remember the family. So Anna. So how will you remember Anna? So Anna is there. Anacardiaceae. So Anacardiaceae is there. So as you can see, you can remember the mango as Anna sapindales. Anna sapindales. It looks like a name. So Anna is the family, sapindales is the order. Again, mango everybody knows mango is a dicot. When you open up the external shell, inside you can see the embryo, and the embryo is dicot. So mango, you remember the family is going to be Anna, and Sapindales is going to be order. And how will you identify that this is the order? Simply by seeing the suffix else, and family ACA. Okay, next we have is wheat. Next we have is a wheat, that is Triticum aestivum, that is the name, and Triticum is the genus. Again we are going with Poaceae family. Poaceae is the family because ACAE, okay, CEAE, and Poales, so alias. So Poaceae, Poales, and it is monopod. So compared to all, this one is very easier to remember. You have to remember Triticum aestivum, scientific name, Poaceae, Poales. So both are having poa or poales, Poaceae or poales. So alias order, ACE family, and you have to just remember it for Triticum. So Triticum aestivum. So easily rememberable. So like this, you can develop your own tricks or use mine, doesn't matter. So as long as you remember and apply this. Remember again how the questions will be framed. The question framing is not new. Almost same kind of questions they will frame. Okay. So it is going to be Diptera order, Insecta class, and order. So Anna sapindales, you can remember for mango, and Triticum aestivum, this is the name of the wheat. In that you can go with Poaceae and Poales or Monocotyledon. Okay, so this is the end of living world in the unit of diversity of living world. Next, we are going to start with the biological classification and maybe one video for discussing or most important part of any learning, that is a revision. And we are going to come with the flashcards and value tables, okay, and important NCERT lines for assertion reason, multiple statement, statement 1, statement 2 type of questions. So generally these are dominating the exams, or what happens, these question types, if practiced properly, they require framing of long-term logical and reasoning abilities. These are not like multiple choice question, which are very straightforward, or match the pair. They are also straightforward, but they are time consuming. Okay. For this, these are not only time consuming, but these require high reading comprehension, the reading between the line, understanding the logic and traps. Okay, so if you understand this, if you do this well, sky is the limit. Okay, so we have done this. This is the end of living world, and any other previously deleted portion is not required. I have not seen any questions, neither I have seen the questions. They have recommended the syllabus from what, morphology. I have not seen those also, so that was a wasted effort. Okay, but when the time comes, for the sake of learning, we will learn, no issue. The next topic we are going to go with, or is in next lecture, we are going to focus on biological classification, very important chapter. Okay, thank you.